حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Just gonna.
All right, Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's good. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله الذي عم برحمته جميع العباد وخص أهل طاعته بالهداية إلى سبيل الرشاد ووفقهم بلطفه لصالح الأعمال ففازوا ببلوغ المراد. أحمده حمد معترف بجزيل الإرفاد وأعوذ به من وبيل الطرد والإبعاد وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له شهادة أدخرها بيوم المعاد وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله موضح طريق الهدى والرشاد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه الأجواد وللمتقين العاقبة أبدا الأبد. أما بعد. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam said something extremely fascinating. He was among his followers, and then he said, we're just sitting down with his back against the wall, and he was reminiscing, thinking. Then he smiled. There was a small tear in his eye. And then he said, I long to see my beloved. I long, I miss, I look forward to seeing those whom I love. And they looked at him and they said, O Messenger of God, are we not your beloved? And then he said, you are my disciples, antum ashabi. But those who are my beloved are those who shall come long after me, who will believe in me. They will love me, but they never knew me. Those are my beloveds. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make all of us among those who are the beloveds of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, those who believe in him, those who truly love him, and those who follow the spirit of his ways. So our topic today is Islam in your hand. You're probably wondering, what's Islam in my hand? Everyone, I'm assuming most people here, have a cell phone. So when you hold a cell phone in your hand, you assume that this is a Western, non-Muslim invention, right? That's what most people assume. But the phone in your hand is a symbolic representation of the spirit of the people whom the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke about, the people who will come after him, who believe in him, who will love him, who will apply his teachings. And they did. So who are they? We look at the phone and we see a camera. Now, every single new phone, they come with new cameras and they get more and more. Maybe by the time they have like 40 editions, you'll have 40 cameras there, I don't know. But that camera is the result of the works of a Muslim man by the name of Ibn al-Haytham. Remember his name, because Ibn al-Haytham is credited with being the father of modern optics. He was the first to dissect the cornea, the human eye, to discover how we see. He was the first to invent the idea of glasses. Do you wear glasses? Every time you wear glasses, any human being on earth wears glasses. That credit goes to Ibn al-Haytham. And of course, this goes back to his understanding of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught us in the Quran. The teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to make this world a better place, to contribute to the world. Ibn al-Haytham. Of course, the camera is related to the Arabic word umrah, which is a small dark room. Of course, we see that in Latin as well, but the word is Arabic. It means a small dark room, which is basically what a camera is. The camera obscura, which Ibn al-Haytham invented to create the first image, to capture the first image of what would be the forerunner of the photograph. Ibn al-Haytham. All right. You use GPS, you use a phone in general. The algorithms that enable this, make it possible, were created and invented. They were the brainchild of a man called Mohamad al-Khwarizmi. And you know what's fascinating about all these people? I will tell you when I complete. But try to think about, what do all these people have in common? You want to consult a medical app. You want to learn anything about medicine. You go to surgery. There are hundreds of surgical units, tools that are still used today that were invented by a man called Abu al-Qasim al-Zahrawi from Andalusia. And I'll tell you something fascinating about Abu al-Qasim. I read his notes, and we still have them. It's fascinating. So imagine this man hundreds of years ago, the father of modern surgery. Each of these people are the fathers of the modern something or other. Ibn al-Jazari, the father of modern engineering. It's a heritage to be proud of. It is. It's truly fascinating. And Abu Qasim al-Zahrawi talks about a particular case which really captured my attention. And he kept meticulous notes of all of his procedures. You know, now doctors keep notes of everything they do. That's his, he's the first to ever do that. Document it. For himself, so he could remember what he did, to remember what mistakes he made so he can avoid them, to remember what works so he can repeat it, and also as a teaching tool for those who will come after him. A young woman is brought to him, a teenager, about 16 years old. She attempted to commit suicide. She took a dagger and she slit her throat from ear to ear, as he said. Her entire neck was separated. All the veins were cut except for one small vein of blood. Everything else was cut. Her trachea, everything was all open. Trying to breathe, it sounded like, you know, a slaughtered animal. They rushed this woman to Abil Qasim and he performed surgery. He was able to reconnect this head. and so well that he was able to align everything. And you know, when we get surgery, I've had surgery, I think most of us who have had surgery, you can see huge scars that are left by doctors. There was barely a scar on this woman's neck when he finished. And she was completely healed. And he's complaining in his notes. He's not fully satisfied. Like, yeah, you know, she has hoarseness in her voice when she speaks. Like there's a little bit of hoarseness. I'm not happy about that. I should be able to completely restore it. Now you tell me what modern doctor has the know-how to do that today. Very few. With all the modern technology and all the help. But Abu Qasim did that. All of these people did. And you know what they had in common? All these people memorized the Quran, and people still memorize the Quran today. Memorize it by heart. It's not hard. You know, you repeat it, you do the work, and you're able to remember it. But it's one thing to memorize the Quran, and it's another to truly understand it, truly comprehend it, truly live the Quran, whereby it transforms you, makes you able to make a difference in the world, leave a lasting impact upon the world. As the Prophet ﷺ said, تَخَلَّقُوا بِأَخْلَاقِ اللَّهِ. Become an embodiment, live the characteristics of God. These characteristics of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Abu Qasim, which of Allah's characteristics that he read in the Quran did he try to embody? Allahu Shafi. You know, a Shafi is not just any type of healer, it is a special type of healing. It's not dara, it is shifa. It's a type of healing that comes from within. That is something that comes gradual, something that comes from within all the way to the outside. There's healing that starts where? At the root of the problem. See, in modern medicine, you have an issue. You see, okay, what can we do to cover it up? You know, the problem's still there. We'll have medicine to numb the pain. Not deal, what is the root cause of this problem? But that is what they did, shifa. That's what the Quran calls itself, shifa. Calls itself a source of internal healing. Because the healing begins where? At the root. You have a problem. The Quran doesn't say, oh, well, you know, you have a drinking problem. You have a drug problem. You have, I don't know, corruption problem. What do? Let's arrest you. Let's give you a fine. Okay, it doesn't work. The Quran says, what is the cause? Why are you doing this in the first place? Go to the root cause so that you can avoid, you can heal it at its source. And that is how these people, Abu al-Qasim al-Zahrawi, Ibn al-Haytham, al-Biruni, the one who mapped the sky. You know, all these names, there are craters on the moon named after these people. You know that? If you look up into the night sky, if you get an app, most of the names there are Arabic names. You know that? It's fascinating. So many Arabic names, the biggest stars, because they left their imprint. A great, massive civilization the Muslims were. Everywhere they went, they entered Spain, it was a desert. It was a wilderness. They turned it into paradise. You guys heard of the French Riviera? St. Tropez, you know, Monaco, some of the richest, most sought after real estate in the world. It was barren. There was nothing there. In the early 800s, the Muslims sent a group of people, they went there, they created this new colony they called Frakhshint. They were there. And you know what they did? They discovered this thing, they had these trees and they had this peculiar type of bark. They discovered, this is cork. You know cork? They're the ones who discovered that you can actually use this for something. They planted trees. They made this place into a paradise. That is the proof of being a Muslim. When Islam enters the heart, when Islam enters a land, it makes it better. It makes it more beautiful. So we ask ourselves, in a society where Islam comes in today, does it make it more beautiful or does it push it backwards behind the rest of the world? Ask yourself. If the answer is it pushes it behind the rest of the world, then the response is, Habibi, it's not Islam. Right. And now, we can gloat and say, oh, look, our ancestors did, the Muslims had done in the past. People go to Spain. Do they go and marvel at the big, huge monuments built in Spain by the Spaniards? Where do they go? Granada. They have huge cathedrals, massive. Where do people go? People go to look at what the Muslims left behind, whatever is left of it, because most of it was destroyed. That's what they go to look at, because it was built for eternity. It was built to last. It was built to impress. Why? Who inspired this? The Prophet ﷺ and the Quran that was revealed through him. So we can sit down and say, well, you know what? We have a great heritage to be proud of, which we should. But that's not enough. Because our scholars said, لَيْسَ الْفَتَى مَنْ قَالَ كَانَ أَبُوهُ وَلَكِنَّ الْفَتَى مَنْ قَالَ هَا أَنَا ذَا. The entrepreneurial, the visionary, the creative person is not the one who says, my ancestors were and did such and such in the past. That's a big thing about Muslim society. We did. If we remember, most of the time we forget that Muslims had ever done anything. But the truly entrepreneurial, the truly creative one is the one who says, here I am. And this is what I am doing to make an impact on the world now. Look what I have done. Not what I have worked, what I have said, or what I say I'm going to do. There's no insha'Allah. In Surah Al-Baqarah, there's a fascinating story which I'm sure most of you have heard before. I'll summarize it. Long story short, the Israelites come to Musa alayhi salam and he tells them, look, sacrifice a cow. And they don't want to do it. So they ask so many questions. When you ask a lot of questions, you don't want to actually do it. And at the end they say, Insha'Allah. They keep saying, Insha'Allah, they want to do it. And they don't want to do it. So you have to do it. We have to do the action. لِمَ تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. The Quran says, كَبُرَ مَقْتًا عِندَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. Why do you say what you do not do? Why do you speak without action? Why do your words not correspond to your actions? It is a great offense in the sight of Allah to speak and not act, to say what you do not do. So do action. and then speak later. Don't tell people this is what we want to do. This is what we have done is what works. Look at what we have done. The greatest, most recognized monument in the world today is the Taj Mahal. And it is a monument that stands as a testament to the power of the Quran. Because on all its walls are inscribed in stone passages from the Quran. Surah Yasin is inscribed, the entire surah, across the entire structure, passage. Every image, every flower, every carving is a symbol of a Quranic value. Because they understood. Built by whom? Built by the descendants of the people who destroyed the Muslim world, by the descendants of the Mongols. Because when Islam comes, it transforms. These were the greatest barbarians in the world, and Islam turned them into the greatest visionaries in the world. So when the Prophet ﷺ looks forward to meeting those who love him, not love him as in let's write him a Valentine's card, "Ya Rasulullah, we love you." That doesn't mean anything. You know, the objective is not to love, but to be loved. If you love and you're not loved back, it doesn't mean anything. So if we want to be loved by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we need to be worthy. And we become worthy in our actions. And if we truly want to do what these people did in the past, we need to understand who the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was. And we need to understand the message of the Quran that was revealed through him. If we do that, if we take the time to truly comprehend, if we take the time to truly allow it to penetrate our hearts, to become part of us, penetrate our minds, then we can become transformative in our actions, in our communities, in our families, in the world. When the world looks and says, that is a Muslim, that is somebody I want to be like. Not that is a Muslim, oh my God, I'm ashamed of that. That is a Muslim, is somebody I want to be like, I want to emulate, I want to look up to. Because he is an embodiment, or she, is an embodiment of the teachings of Rasulullah and the teachings of the Quran. It's not enough to say, oh, I want to dress like this. Let me change the way I dress and now I'm a follower of the Prophet. You know, people would enter the Prophet's mosque, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and then they would ask the question, Ayyukum Muhammad? Which among you is Muhammad? He didn't dress different than the people around him. He didn't look different than the people around him. He fit in. Your dress is not going to make you better, but it is your actions. It is what the proof is in the pudding. What we do. It's not the words, but the actions. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم. الحمد لله وكفى وصلاته على عباده الذين اصطفى وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له على العرش استوى وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الهادي الذي بالحق وفى صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى والعاقبة للتقوى. بسم الله. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in this powerful passage, which is actually the most powerful, most explicit passage of information in the entire Quran, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala established the universe upon a system of balance, no extremism, system of balance, and advises us to be kind in our actions, that everything we do is to be beautiful, beautiful in our character, in the way we deal with the world, the way we talk to people, the way we behave, the way we interact with the environment around us. The way we are, everything that we do it with beauty and do it with excellence. And for us to do that step by step to those who are close to us, step until we get to those who are farther, start, begin at home. And before that, begin with yourself. And do it gradually, step by step. And admonishes us and warns us from being judgmental, from judging others, from transgressing against the rights of others, from thinking we are better than others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us this as advice so that we can become better as communities. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless this land, to bless the people of the land, to bless everyone here, to bless those who have passed before us, to open our eyes and our hearts to the knowledge of Islam, to the knowledge of the Quran. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open our hearts, truly open our hearts to embrace His message and make our actions parallel to the words that we speak. وَأَقِيمُ الصَّلَاةِ.
الله أكبر الله أكبر وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله على الصلاة وعلى الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر الله
لا إله إلا الله. استقيموا يرحمكم الله. Straighten your lines. I think everybody is fitting. Okay, perfect. Bismillah. I want to give you guys a heads up. I will be reciting in another narration of the Quran. It's called Warsh. So if it sounds strange, don't be alarmed. Bismillah. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا والشمس وضحاها والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها فلا يخاف عقباها. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبوح قدوس رب الملائكة. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسمك اللهم أقوم وأقوم. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا والليل إذا يغشى والنهار إذا تجلى وما خلق الذكر والأنثى إن سعيكم لشتى فأما من واتقى وصدق بالحسنى فسنيسره لليسرى وأما من بخل واستغنى وكذب بالحسنى فسنيسره للعسرى وما يغني عنه ماله إذا تردى إن علينا للهدى وإن لنا للآخرة والأولى فأنذرتكم نارا تلظى لا يصلاها إلا الأشقى الذي كذب وتولى وسيجنبها الأتقى الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى إلا ابتغاء وجه يا ربي الأعلى ولسوف يرضى. الله أكبر. سبحان الله، سبحان ربي العظيم، سبحان قدوس رب الملائكة، سبحان. سمع الله لمن حمده ولك الحمد. الله أكبر. سبحان الله، سبحان 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 سبحان. الله أكبر. رب اغفر وارحم وتجاوز. اغفر وارحم أنت خير. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى. سبحان يا مقدم. الله أكبر. تحيات. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We want to thank our speaker first and foremost. First announcement, number one, I know the parking situation has changed and there's a charge for that, but please, it does not give you the ability to park on the road in the place that is marked off. So please don't do that. You know, inshallah ta'ala, nothing happens, but if somebody gets into an accident, you're held accountable on that reality. Because there's other places to park behind the thing. Get here a little bit earlier, or just give up the $10 and don't make the argument in the situation, because it's literally just, it's a donation to the masjid just to keep the situation running like as it is. Inshallah ta'ala, okay? So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Number two is also we will have dates for sale coming next week. Inshallah ta'ala. We will have dates for sale coming next week. There'll be a big box. We're still determining the price because things are fluctuating, okay? Also iftar. We have it scheduled for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We need donations, and if we don't get donations, we won't be able to do Sunday. That's just the reality of what it is. We won't be able to do Sunday. So please go out there and sponsor it. It's about $3,000 for an iftar. I know it sounds like a lot, but it feeds over 200 people. Also, too, you are contributing to a Muslim business that is serving halal food, that is a part of the community, and inshallah ta'ala, that dollar circulates in our community, so some way it will affect one of us, inshallah ta'ala, if not all of us. So if you have any questions or concerns, please talk to me, talk to the administration. Also, too, Sunday we have, also, too, our dear brother Abdullah, who's a part of the staff here. His brother Babakir just passed away, Ali Ibrahim. Inshallah ta'ala, please keep him in your du'as. Please make Fatiha for him. We'll go into just a second. And again, please donate to the masjid generously. If you can, go by the actual kiosk. Stop for a moment, please. We definitely need your help. Obviously, you see the congregation is growing. It was a packed house even to the point when we moved up one time, it was still people out the door. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you for coming. Inshallah ta'ala, please forgive me if I said anything wrong. And alhamdulillah, we had a nice, beautiful recitation, a little bit of pause for the day. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. And if you have any questions or concerns, again. Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. And we do Fatiha for our dear brother Abdullah's brother. Ali Ibrahim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات ومسلمين ومسلمات ومحسنين ومحسنات الأحياء منهم والأموات وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم آمين.